Does the thought of speaking in public gives jitters in your body? Or do your palms begin sweating as soon as you are called up to speak on the stage? Or does the nervousness envelops your senses when you get the hold of the mic at the podium? Unless you're well experienced speaking from stage, I believe your answer would be yes. And that's why I have come up with the summary of the book Stage Fright by Cody Smith. This book will surely help you in conquering the inner struggle and will make you comfortable in your skin while speaking to the audience. Do you know why glossophobia, or a fear of public speaking, is believed to affect 75% of the population? This is because the human being has a hardwired brain, which is powerful enough to create mental barriers in anticipation of receiving any threat. Let me explain this with an example. But wait, before I give you an example, if you are new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss any of the interesting videos like these. Do you know why you are comfortable at communicating with your friends or family? The answer is your brain allows you to be in attacking state, as it knows that even if you commit a mistake, you will not be judged by anyone. Whereas the situation flips when the people listening to you becomes the stranger, because your brain prepares you to be defensive in anticipation of receiving judgments and humiliation in return of noticeable mistakes. So the brain creates mental barriers to filter out any reasons or opportunity to develop public speaking skills, just to keep you in a comfort zone. Cody Smith, the author of this book, was one of the biggest victims of glossophobia. He ran away from the opportunities and connections that would have benefited him to avoid speaking in public. During a trip abroad, he finally faced that fear and understood that this one thing can change his life. To avoid getting embarrassed again in future, he decided to read books to become a better speaker. That helped him in gaining hold of concise message structure and bit of audience attention. But that was not enough, as he still faced misadventures at the stage. He then realized that it was not public speaking which was going wrong. Rather, it was the fear that was ruling all these efforts and the practice of becoming the best speaker. The author says, to face any fear, you have to understand and change your perspective towards it. Now you are thinking, how can one do that? To help yourself with this, remember these points. Number 1, you are your worst enemy and your best friend. In this world, if there is anyone who is stopping you to become what you want, then it is you. If there is someone who can let you meet your dreams, then it is you. Now, you have to decide whether you have to sit behind the safe walls and enjoy the comfort, or whether you have to break the safety shield to become vulnerable and uncomfortable while heading towards your journey of dreams. It is pretty simple. You cannot have both the ways. So choose one and leave the old behind you. If you are your best friend, then whenever life presents an opportunity for you to step closer to your goals and dreams, just take it. Number 2, leave the past in the past. Only adult, grown human beings measure their future with their past performances and undermine their potential if anything goes wrong. Compare and contrast the situation of human being and a lion. If human being fails at a project, he sits and ponders whether I'll be able to get anything substantial in my life or not. Wherein a lion, on missing a hunt of deer, immediately goes behind the other one with a better strategy to attack him. Your future is independent of past. So stop estimating your potential with your past performances. Rather, use your brain's power to extract lessons from them to improve your next attempt. address your fears to supersede them. Number 3, you create your fears and only you have the power to destroy them. Fear is a bodily response to perceived threat. Author justifies this with an example. Let's assume that there are two speakers with same set of knowledge on the subject, and they are supposed to deliver the same message to the same audience. First one delivered the speech confidently, while the other one muttered and stumbled throughout the speech. So where was the fear? It was within the second one. Nobody or nothing created that for him, isn't it? This example clearly states that the threat of possible failure and the audience not reacting are constant for both the speakers. But the first one focused on delivering a message that would benefit his audience, while the other one procrastinated the consequences that may result if anything go wrong. Thus, focusing on mistakes you don't want to make on the stage makes it more likely you will mess up. Imagine the best to deliver the best. Number 4, fear becomes dormant when you take the hold. Fear is in the brain, so it lives till the day you live. But the handle to decide the level and the duration up to which fear can affect you rests in your hand. Take the hold of your fears and address them openly. Once you decide to take charge and cherish failing, then you are on your way to send your fears into dormant state. Fear rules only till the moment when you decide to stand against it. Number 5, failing is a blessing. When we were infants, we kept on attempting same thing without caring for the results till we get that. The mess started when we entered the school, where we were taught that getting F grade in the report cards is a matter of shame, and our hardwired brain made it permanent for us that failure is a terrible thing which should be avoided by all costs and means. According to all of those who have achieved substantially in their lives, failing is something to be embraced, as only failures can show you the voids which needs to be filled in order to succeed. Failures are universal in everyone's life. Once you start accepting failure as a normal part of life, failing doesn't have the stench it once had. Take failure as a challenge to be crossed, and it will serve as the stepping stone for your success. Number 6, know the whys behind your fears. Know that your fear to the deepest level by leveraging the word why. Ask yourself, why are you afraid? Pen down the answers and then again ask why for the answer you give. Example, why am I afraid of public speaking? I am afraid of looking stupid in front of crowd and feeling judged. Cool. Why? Because looking stupid makes me feel uncomfortable. Cool. Why? Because feeling smart, or at least appearing smart, gives me a sense of worth. With this exercise, you will end up finding out that you are not afraid of speaking in public. Rather, you are afraid of people knowing your flaws. After this exercise, write out the worst things that could happen if your greatest fear come to life, and share this with someone to actually laugh out loud on the things that could stop you. If they are serious ones, further write, what would you do when they will happen in reality? With this, you will be able to change your perspective towards fear. After knowing what the fear is, let's learn how to face the fear and conquer them to reach the pinnacle of our dreams. Number 1, learn to embrace mistakes. Don't be harsh upon yourself to give the best outcome by nailing the fears at one go. Rather, give yourself a space to make mistakes. Shift the balance of the brain from the area of avoiding and eliminating mistakes to the area that embraces them. It doesn't mean that you have to be careless, but certainly you have to be carefree about the results and just try with your best efforts. Learn from the mistakes, pen down the learnings and what went wrong to take care of them in the future. Number 2, discipline is the push. Discipline is the powerful push to do what might seem fearful to you. Take up the task against fear and break the task into smaller steps. Discipline will help you to be determined about these steps at predefined time. If you talk about public speaking opportunities, discipline will build up the confidence to say yes to them and align the results accordingly. Number 3, courage is the pull. Courage is built by taking action to face our fears. Once you start working towards your fear, courage builds up and it propels you to keep moving forward. It is just like the muscle which starts growing once you start working out. It can be gained, maintained, or lost, depending on the effort from your behalf. Discipline is the push and courage is the pull. When you are afraid to take the next step, these two work together to encourage you to march forward towards your better self. Once you see some results, only then motivation comes into picture to drive you through this journey. In short, you need the discipline to take the first step. You need the courage to take the next steps easier. And motivation will help you in keep moving ahead. Number 4, confidence is the fuel. Confidence is a subconscious change that comes gradually and slowly with time. The confidence has to be nurtured before it reaps some fruits in bringing noticeable changes. Building adequate confidence is just like reaching the threshold. And after that, confidence will empower you to take an exponential leap. To let the confidence add fuel to your preparation for public speaking, employ these 7 initial principles at play. 1. Running away from the fears will make things worse. 2. No matter what, I have to keep trying. 3. It's okay to be nervous. 4. I have to give my best and it is fine to commit mistakes. 5. It's not about me. 6. Tell a story. 7. Know your audience is human. After facing public speaking fears, now is the time to punch them all in the wall. Let's explore how to become the best speaker with this book. 1. Speak once per week. The practice is the only key to unlock excellence. Make sure you speak in front of a crowd once a week to supersede your fears and anxieties as soon as possible. Now that you have committed to speak once a week, ensure that you spend an hour each day preparing for your speech. Working every day towards your goal of facing fears has far more benefits in the sense of growth dividends compared to simply preparing only the day before. Number 2. Start your plan with affirmations. Put your plan into action and tell yourself that you will give your 100% to execute it. Say the following out loud. I state your name. Commit to put my plan into action. I know a plan without action is useless, and doing is far greater than planning. Write down affirmations under the plans you make. It will indeed add the sensory data to your memory and experience, causing you to focus on the pronunciations of every word and hear what you are saying. Be optimistic, courageous, disciplined, and confident to make it happen. 3. Hunt the opportunity to speak and grow. Toastmasters can become one-stop shop to satisfy your one speech a week requirement. It is one of the only places where your audience is there to help you succeed, because they are there for the same reason you are, to become a better speaker. Other great opportunities to practice speaking are at your work, church, as a guest speaker in colleges, local groups like Rotary clubs, Chamber of Commerce, etc. Volunteer yourself to speak in meetings, seminars, and you will gradually be able to see the levels of delivery rising with your speeches. 4. Grasp every opportunity or create one for yourself. Take up every opportunity that comes your way. No matter if your brain describes it as terrifying, there are chances where your coward self might remind you of memories of your failure. But gladly, now through this book, you have addressed those memories by turning those failures and mistakes into lessons. Whenever you will stand to speak, your coward self will try to convince you to step back. Change is hard, but stay strong. Expect your coward self to speak up, and it won't catch you by surprise if you are determined enough. If the opportunity takes long to knock your door, create one for yourself before your innate speaker become prey of your hardwired brain. Number 5. Plan, prepare, practice. Once you stand for yourself and decide to speak, the next and the last step is to plan every detail to deliver the best speech. Break down your schedule such that every part of the speech from the topic to the closure gets an adequate amount of time, attention, and practice. You can definitely refer the examples in my summary on how to plan a 7-day practice period for the speech. As we know, Cody has been in the same shoes in which you are there today. In his mission to help others who are holding themselves back from the fear of speaking, he has beautifully narrated the lessons from his experiences. So let's learn from them. 1. Speak courageously, live courageously. He says, at first you need to gain control of yourself on the stage. And this can come only through intense practice. As soon as you start feeling more comfortable in front of the crowd, the more you could loosen up. Try new things and read the room to better connect with your audience. Anytime you are driven by the fear and anxiety, remind yourself, everything to gain, nothing to lose. Say yes even if it seems impossible. Do not decline any opportunity just because there is not a decent amount of time to get ready. You must rely on the 7 principles to help you drive through those experiences. This time, confidence and motivation will play their role to get you through the time barrier. Opportunities you will never know existed unless you decide to take action. Fight your fears and speak. 3. Mini mentor. The purpose of this book is to help you in overcoming your fear of public speaking. Here is where the journey of speaker begins. Refer to a range of resources to go through a diverse topics like how to engage the audience, how to speak without notes, choosing the appropriate tone, and similar ones. To improve, pick a particular speaker and dive deep into his or her work for 30 days. Read their books, watch their videos on YouTube, follow them on Twitter, and find out what you can learn from them. At the end of 30 days, take what you have learned from them and make a plan to put those lessons into practice. By diving deep into various speakers, you can gain mentors you can learn from. You have learned how to distinguish between coward in you and a stage fighter in you. You understand that you put limits on yourself, and it's up to you to bust through them. Now harness your potential to develop public speaking skills, and don't ever let your fear to go over your nerves. I'm sure you can conquer your fear with the help of this book. You deserve to be the best speaker. So gear up, to bang your next stage show.
And now if you're interested in getting a free PDF that I summarized from this book, then click on the link in the section below and I'll be happy to email it to you. See you next time. Until then, keep speaking.